Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today we are talking about our first new confirmed launch coming to Bath & Body Works in 2026, and that is going to be a 3-piece musk collection. Now I have some access to some scent notes, have access to some photos, and I also think that some of these scents could be dupes for some more higher end fragrances. KAYALI, Ariana Grande, we have a lot to talk about today. That being said, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. We do all things body care on my channel, so if that sounds like something interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's dive right on into the spoilers. All right, you guys, I'm going to sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here. Now, all of this information was sourced off the Bath & Bucks Instagram account. I have talked about her account so many times and for such good reason. If you love anything body care spoilers, it could be Tree Hut, it could be Victoria's Secret, it could be Pink, it could be Bath & Body Works. You need to be following Bath & Bucks. It is the best Instagram account for all things spoilers. All of the images are super clear, and she tries to include both the front and the back of the product, so you get an idea for the packaging, but also you get to figure out the scent notes and the pricing and things like that. Can't recommend her account enough, and as always, I will have a direct link to her account in the description box down below. If you love anything body care, I would definitely give her a follow. But that being said, let's dive right on into this collection. Now, this collection is going to be a trio, so it's going to feature 3 fragrances in the kind of context or the combining fragrance or the grounding fragrance that makes it a collection as opposed to 3 individual fragrances, is that it's all based around musk. Now, I know a lot of you are going to have very mixed opinions on this. I think the Bath & Body Works musk scent in general is conflicting. Some people really like it. Some people think it overpowers every single fragrance and it gives everything the exact same kind of vibe or the exact same type of repackaged type fragrance. It's like, okay, we've smelled this. This is just a very slightly different variation. So I think musk, especially the Bath & Body Works musk, is very hit or miss. So I'm really interested to get in store and smell these when these do come out. These aren't available in my store yet, but people have already started spotting them. And I don't believe they're online yet at the time of me filming this video, but because people are spotting them in stores, these have got to be coming out in, a week, 2 weeks, very, very soon. But let's dive into this collection. So again, it looks like we'll be getting 3 fragrances, and the fragrances are going to be fresh musk, fruity musk, and then warm musk. The product types, we're going to be able to purchase this, rumored to be able to purchase this in the fine fragrance mist, the body cream, the body wash, and the mini perfume spray. Thumbs up if we do end up getting these in the body wash. It just makes buying a trio or a set so much easier. Thumbs down because I'm not seeing any rumored body lotion product types, so it really looks like they are starting to phase out the body lotions, which is someone who really only uses the body lotions as opposed to the cream. I think it's a little bit disappointing because it has been such a long-standing product at Bath & Body Works. They used to always bring them out. I feel like you're either a super diehard fan of the creams or the lotions, and people are kind of loyal to one or the other. So by not bringing out the body lotion, I do think this might negatively impact people that would have bought it, but because there's not a body lotion, they're just going to skip out. But I do want to be clear about that I do think that we're going to see really a decrease in body lotions and an increase in body creams. Now diving into the fragrance notes and the packaging and all of the above, it does look like I only have access to 2 fragrances. So it's going to be the fresh musk and the fruity musk. The warm musk, I've been unable to find any images or any scent notes about that one. So really no information on that one as of now, but we're going to dive into the 2 fragrances that I definitely have confirmed access to. So the first one is going to be fresh musk. Now, fresh musk, if you're looking at this packaging, and immediately when I saw this packaging for the first time, this did not look like Bath & Body Works packaging. This looked like another brand. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to guess what that other brand is. I will give you a hint. It is a more high-end brand that is sold at Sephora, if that maybe gives you a hint. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, I think we've hit about 3 seconds. I think this looks very, very similar to KAYALI. Just from looking at the ombre, from looking at the font, from looking at the uppercase, this is very much giving KAYALI to me. And one of these fragrances, actually fresh musk, which is the one that we're starting out with, from a scent note perspective, I think this could be a dupe of a more higher end KAYALI fragrance. So diving into the packaging, yes, it looks very similar to KAYALI. Do I like this? I'm someone that appreciates a lot of graphic design, a lot of thought, a lot of artistry when it comes to the packaging. This to me is very simple, and I think that this could either be super elevated and classy, or this is just going to look like a cheaper Walmart drugstore brand. Again, nothing wrong with a cheaper drugstore Walmart brand, but when you are pricing these at around $18.95, I believe the body creams and the fine fragrance mist are confirmed at $18.95, I am expecting a little bit more. So I think it really just depends on where you are on that scale of you want simple and understated, or do you want that more nostalgic, extra graphic design feel of Bath & Body Works? That's going to kind of leave you with your decision on the packaging. Me personally, I don't think I'm a fan of this. It's too simple, but it's not simple in a way that seems elevated. Maybe it's the color choices. Maybe it's this super light pink going to this orange. Maybe it just needed to be something neutral or something different. It doesn't really work for me in that it makes the Bath & Body Works seem more elevated. If honestly, it just makes it look cheaper to me, and it doesn't really look like Bath & Body Works in my opinion. But enough about the packaging. If you love the packaging, great. If you don't, great. I think it just all comes down to personal preference. But getting into the fragrance notes, we have crisp bergamot, creamy musk, and sheer woods. Now, beyond this just looking like the KAYALI packaging, I immediately thought of the KAYALI Musk collection, which is a 4-piece collection. It's available at Sephora. I think it's available on the KAYALI website as well. And I went, that's very interesting, because the Bath & Body Works collection is grounded in it being a musk collection, and the packaging looks vaguely similar to the KAYALI collection, which is also a musk collection. So regarding the fresh musk from Bath & Body Works, this sounds very, very similar to the KAYALI Freedom Musk Matcha. Now, the KAYALI Freedom Musk Matcha, it says, this warm and sweet gourmand fragrance begins with a fresh burst of matcha, mate, and uplifting bergamot, transitioning into a creamy heart of oat milk, warm vanilla, and caramelized praline. The dry down lingers softly with the KAYALI signature accord, sensual sandalwood, and sweet musk, creating a cozy, grounding scent that feels like a serene ritual for your senses. Now, there are some direct correlations, direct matchups between the Bath & Body Works Fresh Musk and the KAYALI Freedom Musk Matcha. First is going to be the bergamot. Bergamot is in both of them. Second is going to be the creamy musk. Creamy musk is in both of them. So creamy musk in the Bath & Body Works, and then kind of the sandalwood and the sweet musk in the KAYALI. The last one is going to be the sheer woods in the Fresh Musk by Bath & Body Works. I think that could be very similar to the matcha and the KAYALI Freedom Musk Matcha, because when you're thinking of sheer woods, it's super vague. I feel like if they would have put matcha, people would have been like, oh, okay, this is definitely a dupe. But by putting sheer woods, woods can go earthy, woods can go spicy, woods can go more of like an outdoorsy, like a sweater weather. So woods gives you a lot of creative room. So I wouldn't be surprised if the woods note does have kind of like a matcha, earthy, green, herbal feel to it, making this one be called the Fresh Musk. So right there, I think we're seeing a lot of similarity between the two brands, not only from a packaging perspective in both of these respective collections, but also from a scent note perspective. So for me personally, I get what Bath & Body Works wants to do with the Everyday Luxuries collection. I absolutely get making a higher end fragrance more accessible. Does this go over the line in terms of just blatant copying? That's really the decision that needs to be made on this. I don't know. I'm still kind of conflicted and undecided about the entire collection right now, but let's dive into Fruity Musk, and then we can talk about that a little bit more to close the video. The next fragrance we're going to have is going to be Fruity Musk. Now, right off the bat, I am looking at the fine fragrance mist, and I think from just a color perspective overall, this looks much better than the Fresh Musk in my opinion. The gradient and the ombre, the colors are very similar, so it's a more gradual ombre than like a baby light pink or like it's called millennial pink to like that kind of bright sunset papaya orange. I think that might have just been too aggressive on that packaging, making it look cheaper. To me, this looks better. I'm still not a fan of like the gold font and kind of how it's looking. It still does look quite cheap to me, but I do think this looks better from just a cohesiveness from the colors perspective. It does look like we will be getting a new lid style in the fine fragrance mist. I remember when we had the original fine fragrance mist lids and the kind of the real skinny ones years ago in like the early 2000s, and then we moved into the thicker cylindrical bottles, and then we got the fancy lids. I believe the fancy lids first started with like Luminous. The fancy lids were also featured in things like the Halloween of 2024 collection, also the Sweetest Song that we got earlier this year in 2025. So we have been seeing, or earlier last year in 2025. So we have been seeing those more fancy lids. To me, this looks like an entirely different lid style in total. It seems to be like this raised kind of line design. It is the color of the bottle, I'm assuming. I think the bottle is colored, or maybe the label. So it is not a clear lid. I don't know if we've had the color lid corresponding to the bottle, besides with maybe the Everyday Luxuries collection. So I think this is a completely new design and kind of new look. I think this looks nice. I think it looks good. I'm just not a fan of what the overall packaging looks like, so I feel like it's taking away from the lid in one way or another. I would love to see this style lid with packaging that is more typical of what we're used to seeing from Bath & Body Works in general. Now, diving into the scent story on this one, this says fragrance notes of dewy raspberry, sugared musk, and velvet moss. Now, I did look into that KAYALI Musk collection, didn't find anything that was really one for one on this, so I kind of did some deep dives here and there. I thought, okay, maybe this could be the Marc Jacobs Daisy, maybe this could be the Jo Malone Raspberry Ripple, and honestly, one of the ones that I thought this could be quite similar to is the Ariana Grande Thank You Next Perfume. Now, these are definitely not like one-for-one matches as much as the Freedom Musk Matcha was from the KAYALI brand to the Bath & Body Works Fresh Musk, but I did find some similarities. So the Ariana Grande Thank You Next Perfume, if you're unfamiliar with that one, it is categorized as a floral gourmand with keynotes of top white pear and wild raspberry, middle of creme de coconut and pink rose petals, and base of macaroon sugar and velvet musk. So really off the bat there, this definitely does give more of a sweeter raspberry vibe, but when comparing the two scents stories side by side, there's definitely similarity in the raspberry note. There's definitely similarity in the sugared musk note. And I don't know if the velvet moss note in the Bath & Body Works one is going to come across more of like the pink rose petals or like a floraliness that would make it more similar to the Ariana Grande Thank You Next. So I think that one is definitely more of a stretch than the Fresh Musk one was to the KAYALI fragrance. But I did, out of all of the higher end fragrances, and if this collection is really just to dupe higher end fragrances, I thought that one, it might be a close one to maybe compare it to. But you guys, that really wraps up in terms of the scent notes and the images of the things that we currently have available. Again, Warm Musk, I unfortunately have no information on that one at this time. No scent notes, no photos, no anything, but I will be doing a video on the Everyday Luxuries collection as I'm starting to get some images rolling in, and hopefully the Warm Musk either pops up online or in my store and I'm able to talk about it a little bit as well. But you guys, overall in this collection, I think this is a very interesting collection to be starting out 2026 with. Now, if you have been watching the Bath & Body Works earnings calls, kind of keeping up with the market, keeping up with what's going on from a company perspective, we are supposed to be expecting some big changes this year. Is this going to be a successful start to those big changes? I don't know. To me, it does seem very, very similar to the KAYALI brand. I'm all for respective dupes. I don't know if I'm for almost direct copying, and the packaging, the ombre, the scent story, especially in the Fresh Musk, it seems to be very, very similar. So I'll let you guys decide for yourself. Again, if you don't like it, don't buy it. If you do like it, go buy it. I'm not pushing anything. I don't mean to like make your opinion one way or the other. These are, as always, my thoughts and my personal opinions. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this initial drop from Bath & Body Works for 2026. I think we're going to have some split opinions in the comments. Keep everything respectful though. We'll move on. We'll get to another collection that I'm sure a lot of people will love. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys are thinking. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.